Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm here in my forest and I thought about talking about the A6000 in this video and why I haven't upgraded to the A7 III yet. And I wanted to give you some thoughts about why I'm still sticking with the A6000 in 2021. And I hope you enjoy this video and let's begin. So first of all, if you haven't seen my previous videos about the A6000, I have done a lot of reviews on this camera, and first of all, what I really like about this camera is that it's a 24 megapixel sensor and it has 179 autofocus points, and it's also an APS-C camera with an E-mount system. And when you compare that to the A7 III, the A7 III has also 24 megapixels, and yeah, it's also a mirrorless camera. Yes, it has a full frame body, but honestly, I feel like APS-C and full frame, there are so minor differences, and I feel like the image quality is kind of the same. Of course, the A7 III has like so many more autofocus points, and if you are into weddings or if you're doing a lot of photography where you really have to get each photo sharp, the A7 III is your go-to. I would really recommend that you go for the A7 III. But honestly, I feel like I've been using this camera now for 1.5 years, and 179 autofocus points are for me enough, and I do a lot of photo shoots. I really like this camera and it's also really reliable, and yes, it has only, as you can see, you can only put one SD card in, so if your camera, for example, crashes or something, the A7 III with 2 camera slots is pretty good in comparison to this. But honestly, you don't really need to unless you do weddings or if you're really into like e-commerce photography. Yeah, and also what I prefer, and this is why I really like this camera, is that this camera is only around 450 euros. And when you compare that to the A7 III, you can pick up the A7 III for around 2,000 euros when it was first released. Now, if you're lucky, you can get it for around 1,500 if you really catch a good deal. And if you get it used, the A7 III, you can catch it for around 1,200, which is a good bargain, which I would always go for if you really want to go full frame. There's of course also the A7 II, which is also a really good full frame camera, especially when you're a beginner. You can pick up the A7 II for around 900 to 1,000 euros. And when you get like a 150 prime lens with your A7 II, you're good to go. But still, I think I would rather pay half the price, have a 24 megapixel sensor, 11 frames per second, a mirrorless camera, which is reliable. So that's why I'm still sticking with the A6000 in 2021. If I have more money to spend, if I have like 2,000 euros on the side, I would definitely go for the A7 III, and it's honestly one of my favorite cameras which I want to go for. But today, honestly, I'm happy with this camera and I'm still at the beginning, so this is totally fine with me. This works for me, and all my clients which I have been working with were really happy with the images from this camera. And you can also check out my Instagram account down below, and there you can see footages from my A6000. And on my YouTube channel you can also check out my other behind the scenes where I have done a lot of photo shoots with this camera. I have 2 lenses at the moment. This is my I would say my nifty 50, because this is a 30mm on my A6000, so there's kind of a crop factor. And I still got another lens, which is the 85mm 1.8, which I mainly use for portraits. So this camera is very versatile, and you can also put full frame lenses from Sony E-mount on this camera. And to sum this video up, I really hope this video helped you with making a decision. And yeah, if you are a beginner photographer, I would always recommend starting with what you have, or at least go for something which you can afford. There's a lot of this mindset that you need a very expensive camera to do great pictures, but still with this camera you're good to go. And yeah, I have a few photo shoots this week and I'm going to use this camera, and I cannot wait to do photos again. So guys, thank you so much for watching, take care of yourself and see you next time. Bye.